So I'm going to read two short excerpts from the Communist Manifesto's first chapter, Bourgeois and Proletarians. The bourgeoisie, wherever it has got the upper hand, has put an end to all feudal, patriarchal, idyllic relations. It has pitilessly torn us under the mostly feudal ties that bound man to his natural superiors and has left remaining no other nexus between man and man than naked self-interest, than callous cash payment. It has drowned the most heavenly ecstasies of religious fervor, of chivalrous enthusiasm, of Philistine sentimentalism in the icy water of egotistical calculation. It has resolved personal worth into exchange value, and in place of the numberless and defeasible chartered freedoms, it has set up that single, unconscionable freedom, free trade. In one word, for exploitation, veiled by political and religious illusions, it has substituted naked, shameless, direct, bull exploitation. The need of a constantly expanding markets for its products chases the bourgeoisie over the whole surface of the globe. It must nestle everywhere, settle everywhere, establish connections everywhere. The bourgeoisie has, through its exploitation of the world market, given a cosmopolitan character to production and consumption in every country. To the great chagrin of reactionists, it has drawn from under the feet of industry the national ground on which it stood. All old established national industries have been destroyed or are daily being destroyed. They are dislodged by new industries whose introduction becomes a life and death question for all civilized nations, by industries that no longer work up indigenous raw material, but raw material drawn from the remotest zones. Industries whose products are consumed not only at home, but in every quarter of the globe. So I've chosen these two excerpts for two reasons. One is the irony of the tone, which is not something that Marx is especially famous for, and the other one is the relevance today of this text with this very strong correspondence between 1848 and 2018. Today we're having 200 years Marx, 170 years Communist Manifesto, and the text is more relevant than ever. If you look at the globalized market, for instance, described by Marx, it's the one we're having today. The confusion between private and public interests that he sums up in this great sentence, the executive of the modern state is but a committee for managing the common affairs of the whole bourgeoisie. It's pretty clear, and it also testifies to the shrinking place of the state in the face of corporations. If we look at labor conditions, same thing. Labor conditions were horrific at the time of the Industrial Revolution. They improved in the meantime and deteriorated again to bring us back to something that starts to be very similar to what we have experienced in the 19th century. Same with the role of technology. Then it was the steam engine, today it's artificial intelligence and automation. If we look at the issue of inequality between bourgeois and proletarian, same thing. Just what Marx called bourgeois would today probably translate better by the super rich or the 1%. And last but not least, class struggle. The term has kind of completely vanished, but it still prevails today, and even in a kind of a brutal way. So the question for us today is, as citizens and culture producers, is what do we do with Marx? Obviously, we're not going to take it as a religion or a dogma because this has been done and it failed, but we should heed the injunction that is at the very end of the text, written in capitals, pun intended, proletarians or workers of the world unite. And I think we should heed this injunction and start questioning the world as it is today.